What is going on, everyone? It is Ty here today, and a little known fact, the Nintendo Switch does have games. Now, like most other Nintendo consoles, we know that they have video games too, and that shouldn't really surprise you, but it does surprise me. No, but in all seriousness, the 3DS and Wii U eShop closure really kind of widened my eyes that the Switch is 5 years old. I knew it was 5 years old, but 5 years old. That means we're probably reaching a point where Nintendo inevitably will announce something, whether it is a Switch Pro, or whether it is a totally new console, or just an extension to the Switch where it has backwards compatibility like the 3DS had with the DS. Who knows? But what I do know is that a good handful of Switch games, whether they even do continue the Switch as a brand or not, it will go away. There will be games that just go away, and we already seen some games go away, stop printing, things like Xenoblade 2. However, not everything is gone yet, not all hope is lost, and today I try to compile a list of some games that are still pretty affordable right now that are feeling like they're destined to be on lists where it's like, oh, these are the must-have games to have if you own a Switch, where collectors are going to be after this, and they will probably be some of the more expensive games. I try to avoid a lot of the already expensive stuff. There's really no question about that. If it's already expensive now, very likely it will be later. So yeah, let's get right into it. So up at number 5 here, I have Pokemon Sword and Shield plus the DLC. Now, I feel like this game has gone under a lot of people's radar. This is Pokemon Sword and Shield with the DLCs on the cartridge. This is a pretty big deal because, I mean, eventually, in theory, the Switch eShop will close down too. And so with that, the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield will also go away, leaving us with only able to have not half of what Sword and Shield is, but missing a chunk of what makes Sword and Shield nowadays. And this is just kind of a recipe to me for something that is like Fire Emblem Collector's Edition. Now, obviously, this isn't, I don't believe this is as limited as that was. However, this is not printed anymore. I believe this was just something for around the holiday times, and I don't remember what it MSRP'd for. I don't think it was 60, I do think it was 80, and right now you get it like open for 90 to 100. I could be wrong on the original MSRP, but it is about 90 to 100 dollars right now, which is a lot, but it's not awful yet. I believe it'll get a lot more nasty, and if for some reason they take down the DLC, if some games sometimes do take down DLC, or the Switch eShop closes, this is going to be one that people are going to want, because it is actually on the cartridge that you can play the whole game with. And it's been less produced than Sword and Shield, just standalone copies. So this is one that I pretty much really recommend. Pokemon, no question asked, always goes up in price. Next on my list here, I got Danganronpa Decadence, and this is about 60 to 100. I said 60 to 100 because 60 for the normal game alone and 100 for the collector's edition. This game has not gone anywhere in price. I have not seen it anywhere. I was actually at a local, not even a game store, it's more of a card store. They have some games, and someone's dad, this was like around when this game was coming out, was looking for it, and I felt kind of bad. I did see one. I told him where it was at a Best Buy, but that was the only time I seen one. It was the collector's edition. I've literally never seen just the standalone game at a store. So I'm led to believe this is an uncommon game. Now, Danganronpa is pretty popular. I don't really know. I believe the series is like over. Don't really know where it's going to go. But this is a version that's all the games right there for you. So, you know, I mean, do what you want. Take that info as you will. But I mean, these collections of games are often, in my opinion, some of the most wanted things, because it's like all the legacy of that game series is right there. And Danganronpa is pretty popular. I don't really know, like I'm saying, what the whole legacy of it will be, but it's still at MSRP. It doesn't seem super common. there you go. That's kind of my reasoning right there. At number 3 here is Bayonetta 1. Now, if you don't know, Bayonetta 1 is actually getting a physical release on the Switch, no longer just stuck to being a download code, which is really cool. And it's only $30 and still available. They have actually came out and said, though, this is going to be a limited, not a limited run as in from the company, but this is going to be a limited run game. It's not going to be on shelves forever, limited quantities. No specific number really given, not really surprised by that, because that could really mean anything. But I would say this is something you probably want to pick up now, because at the moment, since Bayonetta 3 is coming to the Switch, this is going to be the only console where you can play all of the Bayonetta trilogy. I'm not sure if Bayonetta's ending with 3 or not. Not really sure if it's going to say a trilogy or a quadrilogy or get spin-offs or whatever. But Bayonetta is going to be a pretty big series for the Switch, because Bayonetta 3 is probably about to get a huge hype train going since it releases pretty soon here. So we'll see with that, but it's only $30 right now. It's probably the safest thing on this list. Number 2, I got Astral Chain. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a ton about Astral Chain. I do own it. I've never finished it. I know I should definitely finish it. People love this game. Astral Chain is another Platinum Games game, and is a Switch exclusive, and it seems like it's going to stay as a Switch exclusive. I kind of was thinking this game might have gotten ported to PlayStation or PC at some point, but to my surprise, it really did say exclusive, so it's pretty neat. From my grasp of it, you're playing as like these officers, and you got like these spirits kind of like chained to you, and I don't even know how to explain it. I didn't play very far, but the combat was very fun and engaging. And I put it really on here kind of for a similar reason as a lot of things, is that, well, 1, this is a Nintendo Switch exclusive, and I'm pretty confident staying that way. And 2, this game did pretty good, actually. It was one of Platinum's best launches. I just think that people are going to associate this game with the Switch, and even though it did good, it probably could definitely have done better. And it's just what leads me to believe that people really like this game. It did pretty good. It's only going to be on the Switch. Adding that all up, it's probably going to be worth something more than $40. This is only $40 right now. From what I played, though, it really is an incredible game. I think it's definitely worth your time and a little bit of investment. Now, before I get to number 1, there is one honorable mention, and I want to say shout out to Skylanders Imaginators. Now, this game is $100. This game was super cheap, like, way long ago, because they couldn't sell it. But Skylanders Imaginators is kind of a sad case for the series. I could do a totally different video on Skylanders. But a quick rundown version, Skylanders Imaginators launched with the Nintendo Switch, but it didn't actually launch with the Nintendo Switch. The game was already out on Wii U, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. They made a Switch version for the launch. It didn't do good because it was already out and already failing. And yeah, that's kind of like the already said and done story. It's an okay version for the game. Not really sure if it's the definitive one, but the cool thing is you can tap the Skylanders into the controller. Not sure why they didn't let you do that on the Wii U, because it still had that same NFC technology. I don't know, but what I do know is about like $100-something game complete, or not complete, well, $100+ game complete. I don't really remember what it goes for. I say it might be worth it in case either 2 reasons. 1, the series may come back one day, and 2, it's on the nostalgia high right now. So it's kind of hard for me to say if this is like a good idea, because it's kind of, Skylanders might be having just peak moment where everyone's back into it. So if you don't know, some Skylanders are pretty expensive, and a lot of people are back into it right now. A lot of people getting nostalgic for it, so it might be worth your time, it might not. At the end of the day, I think it's a very funny, rare game. It's honestly like up there in terms of some of the big boy Switch prices that aren't special editions. And number 1 here is Shinchan, Me and the Professor on Summer Vacation, The Endless 7-Day Journey. And the price for this is unknown, because it's not out yet, actually. Well, I believe it's out digitally, but physically, this game is not out yet. in North America. So this game is a popular character in Japan. I recognize them. I don't really know like exactly if it's from manga or anime. I'm sorry, but if I'll have it on screen, you'll probably recognize it too. If I recognize it, I hope the other people can recognize it. This game is like a life simulator, and apparently, and I can definitely see from what I'm reading, from what I read for this game, and what I heard from other people, they said it's a mix of like Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon, plus Majora's Mask, which is very interesting to me. I try not to delve too much into it because a lot of people recommend not to really look too far into this game because it'll kind of ruin some things. And so I've stayed away personally. Do whatever you want before you make the purchase. But I will say this game is very beautiful looking as well. But why am I putting it on here? Well, it seems like this is the case because I've barely seen anyone talk about it, but the few people I've seen talk about it are absolutely enjoying it. And like I said, I don't think anyone's really picking it up because it is kind of niche here in North America. And it's not getting an actual physical release like in store. It is getting a limited run release, and I tried avoiding most of that on here because a lot of that times it's very obvious like, oh, this will be probably pretty rare. This one, however, I do think has the potential to be like one of the biggest rares of the Nintendo Switch, one of the biggest grail items. I don't really know exactly how else to put it into words other than I think it is a very quality product that people are going to look back at. It is a notable character, it is a known character. I'm just thinking here that people are going to miss out. Someone's going to make a video, maybe it'll even be me in like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years where they're like, guys, did you hear about this quirky Nintendo game? And then the price goes from like whatever, $100 to like $500, $600. That's just how I feel. Everyone can feel on their own. But I think this has the potential to be the like biggest rare item on the Switch. So yeah, there you have it. Those are my 5, I guess 6 picks on the Switch. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully I give you some ideas. And yeah, without further ado, everyone, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I have a merch link in the description below.